Hello, hello, hello. Welcome in. It's Birds of a Feather podcast with your boy Q City. V Beat Crazy coming in. Um, yeah, what else can I say? So the Clippers game was late last night. It was super late. And I'm not gonna lie to you. I watched the game and then I was like, I gotta go to sleep. I guess. Um, so it's 10:30. Nah, was it 10:30 my time? No, it was 9:30 my time for the start time, which I get. 7:30 start time on the West Coast, and it aligned with like the fourth quarter of Monday Night Football. So like from a housing perspective, you could still get a decent amount of viewership. I feel like that might be one of my city talk topics when I drop the Hawks podcast. I know you guys are, like, hey, where's it at? It is coming for this week. But yeah, nah, I to just talk about like how weird the scheduling is. For right now, I'm pretty sure until the Thursday night series is over, so probably like January, the NBA has just strategically decided not to put games on Thursday. It's making the schedule like really weird for right now. And just like, but I get it. You don't want to go up against Thursday night football. I want to see what Christmas is going to look like. Obviously, there's games scheduled in both. Um, you only have certain set of eyeballs. YouTube TV is not doing what it needs to do in terms of viewing experience and whatnot. And then like the Hawks themselves, they're on FanDuel Sports Network, and this is not free promo. I'm not giving any of those companies my my money right now. I will stream illegally until they figure it all out because YouTube ain't got ESPN. Um, DirecTV and YouTube can both do with Fox with FanDuel Sports Network, but I can't get FanDuel Sports Network the channel on either one of those so I can have a multi screen. It's like, nah, bro, like we just gonna go back to cable. We gonna go back to cable at this point, man. Um, but regardless, I say all that to say, game started late. We looked absolutely terrible. For anybody, I feel like it's so rudimentary to look at um there we go. Uh what was I saying? Oh yeah, we started out so bad. I feel like it's terrible to just think about the record in terms of, oh, Trey's been out. We're 4-1 since he's gone out. Really, the back half of the Nets game, and then, we've only lost one game since he's been gone, which was against the Thunder, and that's like, or two games against the Thunder and Cavs, and it's like, oh, the team's playing much better. We're a much, we're a much more well oiled operation. So what would that be? 5-2 because we only had like one win with Trey, and if you want to count the Nets win as him, so then you could say 4-2. But I'm gonna be honest, bro. Just straight up honest. If you're watching the games, game in and game out, offensively, we look absolutely terrible without somebody, orchestrating the offense, getting us in the sets, being able to push properly. I do not know what the rotations were last night. Now, I'm not sure if that was NA tracking the play and then not being able to play. Like he was, I wouldn't say a late scratch, you know what I'm saying? But like, I think he was tracking the play. And then the kind of came for more than shoot around was like, we're gonna go ahead and hold you out, right? A lot of people were talking about, oh, he had 100 and I think 95 straight games playing, and then comes to a Hawks, plays 9 games and misses his first game, right? What I will say about that, the Hawks have a far more significant investment in NA than any other franchise or basketball team that has had him for extended periods of time. He is a significant part of the future. Can be a trade asset in a couple years because he's on a very team friendly deal. Like you, and from what you're seeing right now, you he can be a part of the season long term and not just this season, right? Um, what this win kind of means overall, and I'm bouncing around all over the place. Stay with me. What this win means kind of overall, from what I'm seeing, is you beat two teams that were winless when you played them. Um, you lost to the Raptors, you lost to the Cavs, right? Both of which are top 5 seeds, you know what I'm saying? Top 6 seeds. And then you beat the Magic and you beat the Clippers, who both have 3 wins respectively, right? When you played them. You're beating the teams you're supposed to beat. With that, you manage Kristaps Potts illness, right? With that, you manage NA Dub's workload. With that, I wouldn't be surprised if you're not rushing Trey back because you're beating the teams you're supposed to beat, right? You're gonna beat the Indies. You're gonna beat the Brooklyns. Now, are you gonna beat? We got to see how you look against the Celtics and whatnot. You shellac the Lakers, you know what I'm saying? But you're going to beat those teams that you're supposed to beat, and if that's like 50% of the battle, 60% of the battle in the NBA. It's just not night in, night out, not getting up and losing to a team you ain't got no business losing to, which I'm pretty sure the Clippers feel like, right? Like the Lakers probably felt that to a good extent. Like we had no business losing that game. Now, when it comes to rotations, because that's how this started. When it comes to rotations, I don't love Mo only playing 8 minutes, but conversely, when all 4 bigs are good and playing, Asa shouldn't get any minutes, right? And that's not saying anything about the player he is right now. I think he's going to be a stud long term, but just currently where we're sitting, Asa shouldn't get any minutes, and then Mo is kind of the last option in that hierarchy. You're building depth. I love his energy. I love how he plays. Um, it's just, and that's one of the things I was saying in the group. It's just hard to find him minutes, right? It is just hard to find him minutes. Um, if you want to slide, you know, you want to slide Reach up to the 2, maybe play him, Jalen, and Reach on the floor at the same time. Um, that's that's rough. That's rough because like Luke Luke, Luke Kennard, he's showing his aggression with the 3, and that's being super helpful. Keaton was doing his best to kind of flow within the offense, but he was getting cooked defensively, and he basically just got sat all the way through. In the second half, the closing, I do love the fact I'm pretty sure Veet messed up the math a bit because he was on such a heater and basically kept them in the game in the second quarter. He probably messed up the math a little bit on what the rotations look like, but I am, especially while Trey's hurt, I am interested to see what this looks like long term, how you can mix and match. To be honest with you, completely honest with you, and I don't love it, the person whose minutes Mo would probably eat up the most is Big O's. And Big O is on as your backup center, 13-8 isn't terrible. Um, I don't I don't consider Porzingis a super deterrent at the rim. He does chase blocks, but like you can still get a lot of pressure on him at the rim. And that's kind of been his MO throughout his career is that even though he's like tall, big, he's not a particularly high volume rebounder and like he's not a super deterrent at the rim, right? He'll block shots, but he's not like a super deterrent at the rim, i.e. somebody like Wemby, right? Wemby does have a high block rate, but he's also a very big deterrent at the changes a lot of shots. Um, uh, Goes straight up, defends without fouling. Now he's kind of a bad example, but like even Draymond, right? Deterrent at the rim. And so when when I look at it, Kristaps was your huge offseason acquisition. I don't see you 45 games in moving him because Mo Gay is playing decent. I see you staggering his minutes, Big O's minutes, and Mo's minutes a bit more, and to have Kristaps around 26 to 28, which he has been around, and then Big O would probably have to come down to 20, 22, 24 minutes, right? To have Mo in that 10 to 15-minute range. My only thing with that is both of those guys got a huge contract. You're probably not going to keep those on the books long term. I don't love it, right? I don't love the idea of moving your talent and getting rid of your depth. To be honest with you, right now, the way this team is constructed right now, there's no glaring obvious hole except for secondary playmaking from the point guard position with the second unit, right? Like you could probably get an upgrade on Keaton, but I'm on Keaton Wallace, but like even him, I feel like Keaton does his job really, really well. And for me, unless you're gonna get somebody like you can get a name, right? You can trade the Clippers for Chris Paul. You could freaking get Russell Westbrook, somebody like that. You know what I'm saying? Like you can get somebody in that second unit, but I'm trying to figure out who you're going to get from a backup point guard position that's going to give you kind of the same umph. And the list is short. The list is short. I feel like Wallace does a decent, serviceable job, and then you're staggering those minutes with Jalen a lot anyway. We were down 17, a good bit of that game, came back with the heater in the second. The last minute of that game, with Veet missing a shot, um, James Harden taking the heat check of the century, like all those things speak to why we need Trey in the game, right? Settle things down, make those right passes, make the right decision, make those free throws. He's like 85% and whatnot. Um, Reese. Reese had a moment missing those two free throws. Gave free chicken sandwiches, but that was not one of his best moments. But a win covers a lot. It's easier to learn from a win than a loss, right? Appreciate it. Thank you guys for listening. Love you guys. Go ahead, check us out at BOAF Media on all social media platforms. It's been your boy Q City, and I'm out. Peace.